right. What up? 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 How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day today. I am chilling like a villain. I am hanging in there. Just a quick note, something I'll probably bring up a few times when people actually get into the live stream, which is that I will no longer be streaming on Monday. I refuse to do it any longer. It's a frustrating event. We'll go into that more later on. Also, we'll be talking about the Apple event today. If anybody caught that, we'll talk about that some. And whatever anybody else wants to bring up, if anybody else comes in. Could just be me here all day talking to myself. You never know how it's going to go. We shall see what we shall see. Hopefully everything will go well. Hang in there and find out. So I am Mr. Funky Dude. I am your host. And yes, you can be a guest, just like it says over here. You can be a guest if you are a regular viewer or a subscriber, a regular subscriber. Basically, I got to vet you for it first because, you know, you got to watch out for trolls. But once you've been here regularly or you're a subscriber and you can be vetted, then I'll let you know how to be a guest. We'll have lots of fun with that. Is that, how you doing there, Johnny? Johnny says, hey, TD, I'm getting my kid down for a nappy poo. That's cool. Put your kid down for a nap. Let him get some rest. Thanks for checking in on me. I appreciate it. You want me to sing him a lullaby? Go to sleep, you little shit. No, just kidding. It's bound to put any kid to sleep. Or hiding under the covers. One or the other. We're not really sure which that will be. It is, it was hot yesterday. It's hot today. Not as hot today as it was yesterday, but yesterday was very humid. Today's been a little humid. Yesterday, oh my God, the humidity was killing me. It was like even raining a little bit. Ugh. Humidity sucks. Johnny says, it worked. Thanks for the lullaby. Oh, that's what I'm here for, Johnny. Sing your kids to sleep. What possible other use could I have? Oh, man. So I'll probably repeat this several times. I am not streaming on Mondays anymore. I know I was scheduled to stream last Monday, yesterday. I'm not streaming on Mondays anymore. And I'll probably say this later on again, but I just want to reiterate, no more Monday live streams. It's the trash truck. It's the trash trucks. The trash trucks drive me nuts. There's no, like, they don't have a scheduled time they show up. And I've mentioned this to other people on, like, social media. They say, what, our trash trucks always come within the same hour every day? Well, every day, every time they come once a week. And I was like, no, it's not the way it is here. Here, they show up when they show up. It can be 8 o'clock in the morning. It can be noon. It can be 3 in the afternoon. The recycling and the trash pickup. They're not even, like, they won't even show up at the same time. You know, like, one will show up at one time, one will show up another. And it's ridiculous. And what ends up happening is that, you know, when I do the live stream, I want to make clips from the live stream to put out there for people to see, to hopefully bring more people in. And when there's this beeping in the background that's going on, because I can't predict when they're going to show up, when the trash truck is going to show up. Even, you know, so because of that, I get this beeping in the background when I'm trying to make a clip, and it ruins the clip. And I'm telling you, like, the last 3 weeks that I've streamed on Monday, I've had clips ruined because of that beeping from the trash truck. Now, you say, well, what if they show up before noon? Why don't you do the stream after then? because I can't schedule it because it's so erratic. Even if they show up before noon, I would rather just say, put the day, forget the day. Instead of having to worry about, am I going to stream that day? Am I not going to stream that day? Are they going to show up? Are they not going to show up? At what point should I cancel? No. Done with it. Done with it. Mondays are gone. Mondays are off the table from now on. The trash truck wins. I cannot. Yeah, I can't hang with that anymore. So, Tuesdays, Thursdays for sure at this time slot. I'm trying to get Wednesdays and Fridays, possibly, to a 6 p.m. time slot. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can set up my live stream in my bedroom. I can use my old laptop, and I have enough lighting in there, and I can just take a green screen up there if I want to use a green screen. But I don't have like a place to sit. I don't have a chair to sit in. I don't have a table to set my laptop on. So I don't have a great mic. So there you go. The only other thing I could think of to do besides live stream in my room, and I'll explain to you why. I explained this last week. If you didn't catch this, here's the reason why. So we have a guest that comes and stays with us for 10 days once a month, right? And he's an old friend of the family. He's an old friend of ours. And he does work. He just basically sleeps on the couch. It's a pull-out couch. He sleeps on that for 10 days, goes to work during the day, comes home, usually after 6 or 7 at night. And we just leave him alone at night in the living room. And it's been working out we've been doing this for like over a year or so. I don't know how long we've been doing this. Probably 2 years. Actually, probably longer than that. I don't know. A couple of years we've been doing this. And it's great. We've got a great arrangement worked out. Problem is, if I want to live stream at night and my setup is in the living room, I can't live stream while he's here at that time. So since there's a 10-day period, the likelihood would be that there would be a 2-week stretch for every month. So half the month, there's only 4 weeks in a month, I would not be able to live stream at night, after 6 p.m. So my only, to keep up consistent schedule, my only other thing to do would be, the only other place I have is my bedroom. It's a large enough bedroom, with Tam. But there's not a lot of space to set up a streaming setup, and it would not be as good as this. The layout would be the same. I wouldn't have as good of a mic, and other than that, the lighting would be fine. I don't have a table, don't have a chair to sit on, what have you. So that would definitely be an issue. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but just like with anything else in life, if you have a direction you want to go in, like my direction is to live stream in the bedroom, without anybody even knowing I'm in the bedroom. You follow me? I wouldn't even, that's why I'd use the green screen and everything. Wouldn't even want anybody knowing I'm in the bedroom. Live stream in the bedroom so that it is indistinguishable from what you see here. I don't know if that's possible, but that's the path that I want to head towards. And what'll happen, just like with other things in life, is that if you pick a path, a direction that you want to go in, and you keep your mind open to new perspectives, I have found in life that the solution can usually be found through that. The solution to my problem of how am I going to stream my lives in my bedroom without anybody knowing it is going to come because I am remaining open to the idea. I believe that there's a solution because I believe personally that every solution has a problem. Right? So because of that, I believe that the solution will come to me if I remain open to it. So that's what I'm doing is I'm looking for the solution to the problem. So I want to start streaming at night, but like I said, there would be possibly, half the month I wouldn't be able to do it in my living room. So that's what happens when you don't have a lot of space, but you have a lot of determination. We'll see what happens from that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a solution. I don't have one yet. See what happens. But if you have any suggestions, anybody out there has any suggestions, feel free to give it to me. Hopefully, it'll work out. What else is going on? It's a brand new week, even though it's Tuesday. I'm just pretending it's Monday. It's Tuesday. Got a brand new week. I have nothing planned other than live streaming, a couple of times. I got my hair cut finally, which is nice. I was tired of the long hair. Although it got cut more narrow because Tam cannot cut a straight line to save her life. Because she was always trimming my hair. I don't know. I might change my hair. I think I might want to go for something a little more low maintenance, but I don't know exactly what that is. I've thought of just shaving my head bald, which I've, done before. Not really a favorite look of mine. I think I'd growing all my hair out, just grow it all out. That's one that I could do. I've had long hair before. I've grown out my hair before. And not a huge fan of all that hair. I like to keep it, I don't know about you, but I like to keep my hair like minimal. Does that make sense? Like I got a big head, and if I put hair on it, it gets worse. Big skull, small brain. But we hang in there anyway. Scratch. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's what's going on with me, basically. Haircuts, finally. When I'm done with this live stream, I got to go feed the dog, and then I have to go do like 3 loads of laundry, I think. So I have my evening planned. Gonna do a lot of laundry. Fun times are had by all for sure. Well, what else is going on? Hey, you have any pets? Anybody out there have any pets? There's certain things that people talk about when they have their pets. They talk about the love that they have for their pets. They talk about the love that they receive from their pets. They talk about how good their pets are, how much they love their pets. But what you don't hear people talk about their pets is the mess. And what I mean by is, look, people get sick. Animals get sick. People, when they basically, like, let's say, have diarrhea, can run to the toilet. But your pet cannot always tell you that they need to run to the toilet. And sometimes when they do tell you, it's too late. So I had to pull out the carpet cleaner the other day because we got woken up in the morning to my dog nudging me, telling me he needed to go out now. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's all, I can't wait. I got to go now. And that's, when he nudges my hand, When I'm sleeping, I know what that means. So I tell Tam, hey, she's more mobile than I am. She can get up. She takes charge of walking the dog. So I tell her, get up and, go walk him. So she gets up and goes walk him. She comes back a little bit later. She says, yeah, he has diarrhea. Oh, that's fantastic. So we're, we try to go back to sleep for at least another 45 minutes, an hour, whatever. Don't really go back to sleep. But, we get up around 6:30 and we go to start our day. But right away, Tam says, well, should I take him out first or should I feed him first? And I said, well, you should probably take him out first. But she decides to feed him first. Then I'm still up in the bedroom. She's downstairs with Dax. And all of a sudden, Dax is coming into the bedroom. He's got this weird walk, like his butt is like falling off almost. And I immediately see this trail of diarrhea behind him. And I get up and I look, and lo and behold, we live in a condo, and there's, upstairs where the bedroom is, and there's a landing there, and around a corner, and 2 more steps, and you go to the next floor, right? There's the hallway, and then there's the bedroom. And he had a trail of diarrhea that went on the carpet from the top of the landing of the stairs, up the steps, in the hallway, and then to me. Because she wasn't getting the message. Tam wasn't getting the message that he needed to go out now. She was not getting that message. So he came to me to tell me the message, and by then it was too late. So I spent that morning setting up, because we have a carpet cleaner. One of those, looks like a big vacuum that has this big tank on it. And, you fill it up with fluid and water and solution, and you can clean your carpets. So yeah, I ended up having to clean the carpet, which was not fun. And that's what people don't talk about. People don't talk about these things with their pets. You don't hear the person with the parakeet talking about how the thing shits everywhere. You don't hear people talking about their cats missing the litter box. Cats do that sometimes. Cats will totally miss their litter box. They will go into their litter box and point their ass out of the litter box and do their thing. Everything coming out of the litter box. Occasionally they will do this. That's the thing people don't talk about. People don't talk about the messes their pets make. You only hear the good stuff. Oh, my Petey is such a good dog. Listens so well. The other day they shit all over the place. No, you don't hear that. You don't hear how good the pet is. I guess they're kind of like kids that way. You don't hear parents going, oh, little Tommy shit all over the walls. But, hey. Yeah, I always thought that's funny. You don't hear that about people and their pets, how dirty they can be. How much of a mess they can be. Like, oh, my dog has a bladder infection. Oh, guess what? I gotta take him out every 30 minutes to make sure he doesn't leak all over the house. It's things like that you never hear. No one ever talks about. Okay. Keep it moist. Yeah, so, and I love pets, don't get me wrong. I've had many dogs in my lifetime, although one I have now probably will be my last one. I don't imagine myself wanting to get another one. I don't know if Tam will feel that way, but that's just the way I feel. I'm getting older. I don't want to commit another, he's probably got another 3 or 4 years left in him, I hope. And I don't want to commit another 15 years after that to another dog. I don't want to be 70 I mean, I'm 54 now. You know, that's just no. I'm done. Love dogs. Have always had a dog most of my adult life, and I love dogs. But I think it's time to stop. I think I'm done. I don't think I can continue to be after Dax. I don't imagine that I would continue to be a good and dog owner in the sense of making sure that all his needs are met and making sure that he's psychologically happy or she, whatever the dog is. So I, instead of being selfish and going, oh, I want another dog, like I've seen so many people do in the past, and it irritates the hell out of me. Instead, I do the responsible thing and I say, okay, it's time to stop. It's no more dogs. I've enjoyed the company of dogs all my life, but I need to be responsible. And, there's some things that I want to do in my life that I just simply can't do, like travel, things like that, while I have the responsibility of a pet. Cats are easy. You can have someone come in and feed the cats every now and then, but dogs take more responsibility. So after Dax is gone in a few years, that'll be the last. No more after that. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. What else is happening? Apple had its big event today. We'll probably talk about that more later on. Once see if anybody comes in. All right, talking about it's always a fun discussion to have with groups. What's up, Anton? How you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. Sitting over there on the Twitch. You're good. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Hey, do you have any pets, Anton? I was just talking about pets. I was just talking about how people tend to talk about their love for their pets and how good their pets are and how wonderful their pets are, but you never hear people talk about like having to clean up the shit, having to clean up the vomit, having to clean up the piss, having to clean up the diarrhea that happens. How cats sometimes, even when they have a litter box, tend to piss and shit outside of the litter box. Like they miss it, like they go into the litter box, but they stick their ass in the wrong direction and everything goes out. Like you never hear pet owners talk about these things. It's always, oh, my wonderful pet. I was just talking about that. I was just talking about how my dog had an accident with diarrhea the other day, and I had to clean it up with a carpet cleaner. Whew, that was fun. Not really a problem for me. Yeah, I know it's not really a problem for most pet owners. You take it with, you take it with as being a pet owner, right? You expect that your pets are going to have issues, just like anything else. They're going to vomit every now and then. They're going to have these gross things. My point is, people don't talk about it. The people don't talk about it. Oh, come on. Your dog's never had diarrhea. Your cat's never missed the litter box. Your cat and dog would be the first. Because I used to work in grooming, and I've literally had to clean the messes from people's, off of their animals. I've literally had to clean cats' asses who missed the litter box. Your dog maybe vomits sometime. Okay. What kind of dog do you have? I have a Doberman, and I have 2 cats. They're good, but they're messy sometimes. Gotta clean up after them every now and then. So we were talking about that a little bit. Fun stuff. But Anton, well, the dog is 4 breeds, so you got a mixed dog, okay? Or you got 4 dogs. Which is that? Not really sure. My dog is just a Doberman. Oh, it's a mixed dog. I love mixed dogs. Love mixed dogs. One of the best dogs I ever had was a Doberman Malamute. And you know what? They're healthier. They tend not to have, or they tend to breed out the problems that arise from purebred dogs. In fact, my dog I have now is only the second purebred dog I've ever had. He was given to me as a gift by someone, you know. Anton says, my dog is old. Yeah, mine is about 12 years old right now. Your cat is even older. Yeah, our cats are older than our dogs too. Cats live a while, man. They can live up to 20 years. I heard that there was a Guinness Book of World Records recently for the oldest cat. And I think it was 35 years old. I think. If I remember correctly, the Guinness Book of World Records was just recently broke for the longest living cat. And I think it was either 34 or 35 years old. That's crazy. Can you imagine having this cat? You must at some point, you would have to wonder at some point if your cat is ever going to die. I figured once my cat hits 17 years old, I would be all, is this cat immortal? What is going on with this cat? That would be the confusion. That is where I would get lost. Like, why is this cat still going? But a 34-year-old cat, that would be crazy. And it was still moving around. It still had like all of its hair. It was still like it would go on walks. It's crazy. Yeah. My cat usually wakes me up in the middle of the night, Anton says. Oh, yeah. I had a cat that tried to do that, but it quickly learned after a few days that that was a bad idea to bother me in the middle of the night. I didn't hurt the cat. I never hurt my animals, but I definitely know how to scare the cat. And after about a week of that, it realized, oh, no, this is a bad idea. This is not going to work. Oh, he wants to go outside. Yeah. We have we have a patio. We are on a second floor in a condo, so a patio is where we keep the litter box, and the patio door is always open, so or cracked open so the cats can go out and do that. So they don't really come to get me unless the few times that the door like closes on its own because of wind or something like that, then they'll come and yell at me. But they do yell at me to feed them. Like if I have an old tabby that, God forbid, if I should walk by an empty bowl, I will get yelled at. It's like, you see this bowl is empty. Why are you walking by it? Like, okay, calm down. I will make sure. My girlfriend made the mistake one day of giving the cats little bits of sandwich turkey meat from a sandwich that she was preparing. And ever since then, every time she opens up the turkey meat package, the cats come crying to her. She only did this once. Cats are smart. Cats are evil. Don't get me wrong. They are trying to take over the world, and they will kill you and eat you if given the chance. But, I mean, got to give them credit. They get it once that they get some turkey meat if she opens up the package. And then after that, every time she opens up the package, they're coming to her looking for turkey meat. Of course, she indulges them. Gives them a little turkey meat, which perpetuates the problem, makes it worse. Anton says, my cat never yelled, but now he always yells. Well, they do at work. So there was this test that they did on cats a couple of years ago where they discovered the cats that cats. So when we hear a cat like talking to us or mewing at us and what have you, right? We think, oh, the cat wants us to do something, or the cat demands something, or something else like that, right? And what they discovered was that cats are training us to recognize so how do I say that? I'm trying to think of how to put this. So what cats do is they will throw out sounds at us. And when we do something particular to a sound, they associate the sound that they threw at us with that thing. So if a cat comes up to you and it does this mew and you pet the cat, right? The cat will continue to mew at you in that way, right? But if the cat comes up to you and it mews at you a different way and you give it something different, like let's say a treat, cat knows if I mew this way, I will get a treat. So it's not like the cats have this language of their own and they're trying to get us to understand them. It's cats are taking are being opportunistic, throwing sounds at us and then repeating that sound dependent upon what we do for them. And this is why it's inconsistent between owners. The sound a cat makes for one owner for when it wants to be fed will be different than another cat owner whose cat wants to be fed. Right? You follow me? Because it's not based on any kind of language they have. It's based on how we respond to them. So it's almost like they're training us to understand them. Cats are evil. They will take over the world. That's their plan. I'm telling you. I got a video on it. You should go check it on YouTube or on PeerTube. It's a short little video. Do your cats eat rats? No, we don't have mice or rats at the house, so we never have that problem. What's up, Major Hustler? How you doing, Tim? Yeah, we don't really have that problem. I've lived in a house where I've had cats and they chased mice. Yeah, sure. Depends on the cats. Some cats are more afraid of mice than, they expect mice to be afraid of them. Cats are just wimps. It just depends on that. But how you doing, Major Hustler? Good to have you. Major Hustler is a good friend of the interwebs. And if you don't know him, you should check him out on TikTok. He's got a live stream that he does there where he goes around the Seattle area. I caught you for a few minutes the other day, Tim. You were walking around Seattle. And I heard that your how do you say it? Your thing broke down. Oh, there you are. Hold on a second. Let me bring you on in just a second. There you are. How you doing, Tim?
Good. My audio working?
Yeah, your audio's fine.
Good. So
what's going on? I saw that you were walking around in Seattle. I heard that your scooter broke down. You got a flat tire or something. Did you ever get that fixed?
2 flat tires. I've got.
Oh, is that what's behind you right now?
Yeah. 2 flat tires. The stuff's on order to fix it, but no talent. It's going to be a week or so before it gets here, probably almost.
Ugh.
And then, but yeah, I've also been renting scooters and walking. So
how'd you get 2 flat tires? Did you get them at the same time?
Well, the front just has a slow leak, but so it's probably a good time to be fixing it anyway. But the back, the stem came out while I was trying to air it up.
Oh, yeah, the stem broke. Is it difficult to change the tires yourself?
Yeah. Real pain in the ass.
Yeah. Do they give you do you have to send it in somewhere? Or do they give you instructions on how to do it, or
you just take it to a scooter shop where you can fight it out yourself? Right. So
can you patch those kind of tires?
Maybe depending on the type of puncture that they are. They're not very expensive.
Right.
The tires themselves aren't. But
the tires themselves aren't?
Right. But it's the actual taking them on and off that, if you're going to take them off and put them on, you might as well put new ones on because of the expense or the effort of doing it.
Right. Well, I imagine it's one of those things that, it's going to happen, probably more often than you would like. And it's one of those things you should probably learn.
I put 1,500 miles on it and hadn't had to deal with it yet.
Yeah, it's good though. That's good. If you're only getting like a couple of flats every 1,500 miles, that's not bad for a scooter. I mean,
You ain't kidding. That's really
You
good.
know, that's
The frustrating thing is that it has the pneumatic tires. You can get the solid rubber tires, but then you got no shock absorption on this type of scooter.
right.
So
So for those that don't know, Tim here, he likes to go around on a scooter in Seattle and show off the place on his live stream. Anton says, I got a flat today too. Oh,
damn.
not good, man. That's not good. So when are the tires supposed to come in?
It said between like the 16th and the 19th or something like that. But the problem is that after looking at the tires that I ordered, I don't know if I'm gonna like them. And the actual OEM stuff is not available from Segway.
Oh, that sucks.
They're out of stock.
That's no good.
Yeah.
So what do you think the issue? What are you hoping the issue is not going to be?
Well, apparently I accidentally ordered a solid tire for the front tire, which I don't need that.
Yeah, I know.
So, and then the back tire is not original warranty, and it's a tube tire.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think that that's supposed to hold as much weight as a tubeless tire is.
Right. Yeah.
So I might have not be able to use either one of those. Have to send those back and order, and wait till they come available from Segway. I don't know what to do because they're not in stock, and they're not available anywhere else.
Right. That's not a good. That's not a good thing for Segway. You know, that's not. Yeah.
No, I wrote him a letter and told him I'm kind of a big deal on TikTok. You need to help.
My dad, my father, he lives in Indiana, in Bloomington, and he's big on e-bikes. You know, he buys a new e-bike every couple of years, and he always gets them from China. He buys them off of Amazon, and he always gets them from China. And I asked him one day, why do you always buy your e-bikes from China? And he just said flat out, the parts. He says the parts are always available. He goes, there's not just one place that's going to make this part. There's going to be several places, you know, in Chinese factories that make this part because they all make clones of each other. He says finding parts for his e-bikes is easy. He goes, it takes only about a week or two to get them shipped to him from China. You know, and he says he said he had one e-bike that he bought, you know, here in the States, and when he started needing parts to be replaced for it, it just became more difficult for him to find the parts, more difficult because he said the parts are actually more expensive. He says, but the Chinese parts are just so much cheaper and so much more readily available. And so from that point on, he just started only buying Chinese e-bikes.
Does my place look trashed on the video?
It looks lived in. I wouldn't call it trashed.
Lived in, yeah.
Well, you know, because people live in their houses. They leave water bottles here, and they leave them, you know.
Yeah, I just got done eating that chicken back there. Just got done right before
yeah, was it good? What kind of chicken was it?
It was from the grocery store, the little deli case. They had like fried chicken in there, and I got a small thing of macaroni and cheese that you can see on the corner over there, and then 3 chicken breasts, and they were big. I only could eat 2 of them. I still got 1 left if you want it.
Too much. Is your stomach feeling better? I take it.
Yeah, doing much better.
That's good. Good. Hey, hold on 1 second, Tim. I'm gonna make a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, back. Sorry about that, man.
No worries.
Drinking a lot of water today. So did you catch the Apple event?
I did not, but I understand the idea. I have to go buy a new phone.
It's
I get it.
I swear. I was telling people earlier this today that if you took last year's Apple event and used AI to make it so that every time they said 14, make it so they say 15, and you showed that to the average Apple user today and told them that it was for the 15, they would never know that they were talking about the 14. Like your average user would have no idea that they're talking about an older phone.
I need to figure out if I need the periscope lens.
The periscope. Oh, the telescopic lens.
Yeah, there's it's called the periscope lens.
Oh, why? Because it moves in and out or something like that.
I think it goes up and down too. It's got a mirror that sends the light beam downwards.
That's crazy.
Backwards. So that's the periscope action.
Well, what's really funny because I watched I watched most of the whole event, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was commenting on it on Mastodon. And what's really struck me as just funny is the fact that there's really only maybe 3 things that they announced that is really anything different from what they've had before, right? So it was, of course, an upgraded chipset, new lenses, and for the Pro, they have a thing on your mute button is now you can make it do other things.
A soft switch.
Soft switch. Watch, you can make it, program it for however you want. And that's basically the only 3 things that they had that's different from the last year's phone. The rest of the whole event was about color and about the materials that they used to make the phone. And
the materials are different, if that helps. You know, the titanium and stuff.
Yeah, but is that really going to it's going to make the phone a little lighter. But as far as like performance, it's not really going to have that much of an impact. And let's be honest, most people aren't going to really notice. I don't even know what the difference in the weight is, but it's only going to be a couple of grams. Most people aren't going to notice that difference. But they highlight it, and they use words like embedded color now for the case, you know, and they try to shine it up with all these fancy words. It's literally they could have had the event in 15 minutes.
I thought the funniest thing was the matching charging cable.
Oh yeah, the charging cables.
The matching one. So
well, that's their new.
Ordered in,
that's their new revenue thing is they want to do now because so I think it's hilarious how Apple responded to the EU's demand that they start using USB-C, right? So they kind of went, okay, sure, will you use USB-C? Sure, but you know, the lower end phones will be fine, but your higher end phones will need a special kind of USB-C cord.
Really?
Yeah. So you'll have to get, if you want full transfer, you're going to have to get this higher end USB-C cord that is designed to transfer data faster, you know, basically. Can't use that on the other lower phones because it won't work. It'll just transfer normally. But if you want a fast charge or if you want, you know, what have you, then you got to use this new. And guess who makes that?
Who?
Apple.
Oh yeah. I saw this new phone called it was a fold open phone and it was called the I don't know. Magic Pro. It was the new Magic by one of those people. Anyways, this phone had a 66 watt rapid charger.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you kidding me? Literally 66 watt. And it showed the phone like charging. You could just sit there and see the number going up as it was plugged in. It was crazy. I'm like,
well, that's, you know, that's the holy grail of electronic devices is battery tech. The person who comes up with, you know, the next level battery is going to make freaking billions. That person will be billionaire over a week. You know, a
Probably
week's
get,
time
well,
easily.
I don't think so. It'll probably be some like undergraduate student trying to get his PhD. You know, working for like University of Arizona or something, making $12 an hour. That'll be the
Yeah,
person that cracks the code. The person that privatizes it, that
yeah, that
implements it,
will get
that
the
person.
yeah probably. It's usually how it works.
It is usually how it works.
But yeah, no, that's the holy grail right now. That's what so much of like every electronic division has R&D that's developed towards, you know, paying for research or doing their own research for battery tech. Like you heard about that thing, like that element they thought they made a couple of months ago that was supposed to be a superconductor.
Yeah, it wasn't an element. It was a
It
LMK
was,
99.
yeah, right. And I still haven't heard the final word on that.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a super. It's not a super semiconductor.
Yeah, it's just what is it? It
I heard the
just
final
reacts.
word.
I can't think of the word. It just reacts to the magnetism. Yeah, I've heard some say that, and then I've seen others say that it does, but the process of making the chemical or whatever it is, it's too uncertain that it can't be
Not that anymore.
effectively reproduced.
Right. That was the beginning where you couldn't make it to where it was perfect enough to have the
Yeah.
properties that it could have. But now they've demonstrated that even if you could make it perfect, it still wouldn't be.
The person who
No.
figures that out, though, or the company
Well,
that
that's-
does.
Likely not to be figured out. But the nice thing about it was that that whole thing increased a lot of headway in that field. It made a lot of people,
Yeah.
reinvigorated the age old search for that sort of thing. And we, as a society, don't actually need a room temperature super semiconductor. If we can get one that operates at a little bit more than room temperature, or a little bit, we can just
Yeah.
lower the temperature of copper, which we use now, then we'll be way better off. Every degree helps.
Yeah, every degree helps. Yeah, right. The so yeah, watch the Apple event. It was about as non-interesting as you would think Apple events have been. The problem with cell phones is the form factor now. That's the real issue with cell phones. And at least Samsung is trying to, you know, in other places are trying to work with different form factors, you know, with the folding ones now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I know that someone is working on I don't know what the term is, but it's basically scrollable. So you pull it out and there's your screen. It just wraps around, you know, the inside of a wheel or something. I don't know how it works. But
just the inside is also the outside.
yeah. And so at least I give it to Samsung. At least they're trying new form factors.
That Magic phone I was telling you about that folds out. When
Yeah.
it's folded up, it's the same size as a regular iPhone Pro.
Yeah, I've seen phones like that. I've
this
seen
is
other
brand
things.
new. All the rest of them were like the Pixel Fold and the Samsung Z Fold and all those. Those things feel like a brick when they're folded up.
Right.
But this new Magic Pro, this thing side by side was the exact same thickness almost as an iPhone 14 Pro.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
And opened up, and snapped in place. I couldn't believe it. It's a brand new phone though.
Yeah.
It was just unboxed a few days ago.
The question is, I mean, aside from folding and from rolling, I guess, the question is, what other form factor can a phone really take?
Yeah, we need it to just be like a chip inside of our head, right?
Well, because you're always going to want to hold the phone, and you're always going to want to put it up, you know, to your head, or
I don't want to hold it. I want it to just be a chip in my head. I don't need to. You know, if I could just like think.
Well, if Elon has his way, you'll have that soon.
Yeah. Well, I get my new iPhone installed in my operation this weekend.
I don't know if I would trust any chips coming from Elon though.
Yeah,
You never know. He might turn off your chip thinking you're going to create a war.
I might too. So, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, you think he's gonna get arrested for that?
course not. Not doing. He's just experimenting.
No.
Oh, did you see he had a I don't know what do you call it on X anymore. Post on X. You can't call it a tweet. He had a post on X the other day where he tried explaining how the chips are being tested on animals, monkeys or something like that. But it's okay because these monkeys were about to die anyway. It's like, okay, Elon, I don't think that's the compassionate thing that you think you're making.
Do you watch that guy on TikTok that's got the monkey, Tabo?
No.
Oh, it's funny.
Is it? I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
What's he do with the monkey?
Well, he just always makes all kinds of interesting videos about having a monkey. And he rides around in his van with the monkey, and they go traveling around and go to hotels and see the monkey like tears up all the hotel room and like breaks shit. And he has to go buy new shit. And then whenever he tries to eat something, the monkey snatches it out of his hand, takes it from him, and like before he can get a bite. It's just hilarious to watch. I mean, just
why would anybody do that to themselves? For the views, I guess.
Oh yeah, he's doing it mostly for the views. It's how monkey, you just take advantage of how monkeys are,
Yeah.
And you get millions of views. So he's doing real well.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I haven't caught that. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, I think it's Thabo, Tabo. I'm not sure how to spell it.
Yeah, so I think my girlfriend might be upgrading her phone, or she's going to look into upgrading her phone. She has two phones. She has like a what does she have, a 14 or I think she has a 14 and an 11.
Yeah.
And she uses she uses both of them. She uses one as her main phone, and the other is basically a Pokemon Go machine.
Okay.
She uses it so like when she goes out, she can have two phones to play Pokemon Go with because she likes to play Pokemon Go a lot.
That's really being into it.
Oh, she is a big time. She spends like at least 2 hours every night playing Pokemon Go, working on her deck, cleaning out the old Pokemon or whatever it is they do, doing battles. Like sometimes 4 hours. She'll stay up till like 1:00 at night sometimes, just playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, and then like every weekend or every other weekend, I think it is, they have what's called community days, where they highlight specific Pokemon you can catch, and they encourage people to do more what's called raids and to go to places where there are gyms.
Yeah.
So she'll go with her and a bunch of her other Pokemon Go friends. They'll all caravan in different cars to go to different stops so they can raid the different stops. And they just do that, or they'll go to like a big shopping mall and they'll walk all around that shopping mall collecting Pokemon and spinning the gyms and stuff like that. And then they get together afterwards for dinner and they'll trade with each other. And there is a lot of people. I'm surprised there's a lot of people that are still playing the game.
Yeah.
And it's still a popular game, or at least out here.
Make the trading like a little better.
I don't really know how it goes, but
what level are you?
I haven't played in a long time. She took over my account.
Me neither. I haven't played.
Yeah, because she didn't like when I did play. She didn't think I was playing enough, so she just took it over. It's like, your account's too low, it's too slow, and so she would just start taking it out with her. I was like, okay,
have fun.
Have fun with it. And every now and then she'll come back to me.
How good I am.
Every now and then she'll come back to me with a joke. She'll be the running joke is, "Oh, look what you caught."
Yeah.
Oh, you caught a shiny. It's like, oh, did I?
Just don't tell Niantic. The Niantic spies might find out.
Like, she's hardcore. She there's a way for you to request that a new gym be put somewhere. She's had new gyms started up. Now there's a new thing where you can make what's called a route or something. I can't remember what it's called directly, but it's like a path that you walk and you can catch certain Pokemon and a certain one at the end, and you have to make it and submit it to Niantic and all that stuff. So,
You're kidding me.
oh why?
Wow. This just seems so involved.
Oh no, they've made it like way more involved than it was when it first came out. Now there's like a whole bunch of things.
Damn.
Like now they have like super raids, they have regular raids, they have like super passes, they have inviting friends to raids. You can go place to raids, or you can do it from your home. But actually,
let me tell you what I need them to do. If they want to make
what?
this game popular again, what they need to do is make it to where those Pokemon that you caught at the beginning of the game are worth like a bunch. Just to reel those original people back in. Because there's a bunch of those like weird ones at the beginning that you never see anymore. But if you made those like worth a bunch, you could.
Well, then once you get them, you got to train them, you got to supercharge them. You got to feed them, you got to all this other stuff. Like she has on her Pokemon deck, she doesn't keep anything. Oh, she even has another app. This is how hardcore she is. She has another app that works with Niantic, which she uses to appraise the power and the strength of the Pokemon. It's called like a Pokegenie or something like that.
I was doing something like that too when I was playing also. Check my IVs.
She does, the IVs, right. She doesn't keep any Pokemon that's below like 94 or 95.
Yeah.
It's like they automatically, she even like will change the name, will put like a little symbol in their name so that she knows that that's either for a trade or that's just to be, deleted or get candy for, or, whatever else. Like she has it down to a freaking science. It's crazy.
Damn, I'd love for her to go through my Pokédex.
She actually has a friend that travels all over the world between like New York and Taiwan, and they take over each other's accounts sometimes when like one is sleeping. So like if she's sleeping, he'll take over her account and play it in Malaysia or wherever else. So she'll get like Pokemon that are for that area, and when he's sleeping, she'll do the same for him and collect Pokemon for him in this area. Like spin a gym or something like that. Wow. So she's got a lot of like Pokemon that people like here don't have because of that.
That's crazy.
Well, if you're into Pokemon Go, are you grinding right now?
I just finished. I know it's so bad. It needs cleaning up.
I was gonna say I know that sound. I can't even see your hand, but I know that sound.
Yeah, that's the sound. I've told you about my grinder, haven't I? I used to have the best grinder in the world.
What was it?
Sad. It was just this big ass grinder. It was like a 4.5-inch grinder with multiple stages.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Not just like the fall through, but then it had another stage on the bottom with the screen, and then below that the key catcher and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this was like the roundness of a CD.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know, it was that big, and it had
huge.
It had a great big dollar sign on it, and it had the teeth in it like this. These are the best kinds right here. See the spikes?
Yeah, that's what I have basically.
That's what you want is the spikes. The cutting gears, they chop it up too much.
Mine is kind of like that, but there is another stage underneath it for the screen and the keef and what have you is underneath that.
This one was made I got this one to replace the best one that got stolen from me. This is not as round, but it's still pretty round. I don't know if you can tell. It's still a 3.5-inch round grinder, and it has the spikes, and it had a screen on the bottom of this section and then a keef collector on the bottom. So you were supposed to like have all your weed ground up in this part. And then I just took the screen out so the weed could fall through and then use it that way. But
I got to show you something. I don't know if you can see, it's on my phone. So before I show you this, so when I had my knee surgery, and I was recuperating, I couldn't grind my cannabis because I couldn't get to it, and it was hard for me to sit up and what have you. So my girlfriend started grinding my cannabis for me for the first time. She didn't ever do it before. I taught her how, and she started. Now she every time I need cannabis ground up, she wants to do it, right?
No.
And then so she went out. She was on Amazon one day, and she was buying some pipe cleaners for me, right?
Mhm.
You should get them cheap, like in bulk, on Amazon for like next to nothing. And I guess Amazon recommended, because that oh, people like this, you might also like this, right? Knowing that she's a Pokemon Go player. Look, this is a grinder.
I've seen that. I've seen that grinder. Yep.
She had to buy it in the case it came in. Actually, the case is damn nice. It's a
too little to
Pokemon
use,
Go
though.
case, and the Pokemon Go case that came with it is actually nicer than the grinder itself. Like,
That's nice.
but
I've seen
yeah,
them.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, but they're too small to use. I've got the one that's
Oh, they're way small. She doesn't use it.
I've got the exact same one, but it's a Death Star.
That's great.
Yeah,
Oh man,
but it's just too small to use.
yeah.
I got
Man,
another-
you're smoking rich over there.
Oh man, I'm doing well. I don't know if you can.
Look at that.
This
That's
is
good, man.
This is Biscotti by Cookies, which is
Nice.
really good stuff. I mean, I don't know if you can see. Let's see if you can see that behind my. See that on my refrigerator? There's a box. Well, I can just bring it over here and show you.
Yeah, I see the box.
That's my weed.
What is that?
That's a bag of weed.
Damn.
I know.
Hey, you're looking good though. I gotta tell you, you're looking like you might have dropped a little weight. You look
I
a
did lose
little,
a little bit.
yeah, you look a
From
little
the
healthier
hospital.
than last time.
I don't know.
Is your stomach? I know I asked you earlier. We didn't really get into it. Is your stomach? Is diverticulitis still bothering you?
You know, what's happened is like, so when I first got out, like I would have pain after I eat, I'd get like all
Mhm.
kinds of bad pain. And
Yeah.
I still feel all the same things after I eat like something I'm not supposed to shouldn't eat. Like if I try a burger
Spicy or whatever.
McDonald's or something like
Yeah.
that, or eat nuggets, or something like that. Then, but instead of it being hurting when it goes down, now it's just like mildly uncomfortable.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I remember
You know,
that as well. Yeah, that
it's
means
like it's going away, it's like it's fading
it's
away.
healing. The whole, the spot is healing. Like I experienced the same kind of thing. Actually, I felt mine developing without realizing what it was. So like with me, I would like whenever I would go to the bathroom, right? It would feel like there was a dead spot. I don't know how else to
Tell me that, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but like when it was pushing through, it would feel like this dead spot where I wouldn't feel pain, but it would be like mildly like not, I don't want to say painful, but uncomfortable, And then like a couple of weeks later, that's when it started getting worse and worse, and then went to the hospital, found out I had diverticulitis. And then afterwards, it was like after about, I would say, a couple of weeks to a month, and especially after being on the antibiotics and what have you, that I started experiencing what you're talking about, was that it didn't, like when I ate foods, it didn't hurt as much as it was passing. It just got less and less, and then eventually just stopped. So hopefully that'll happen for you too.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there. It's just taking its sweet time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what sucks about the human body sometimes, that you got to wait for it to heal.
Yeah, and I'm not that big. I think fully, if I was down to my regular weight, I'd only be like 150, 145.
Yeah.
At
Jesus.
my like ideal weight. So I'm not like a great big person. And a lot of the meals that you order from places are made for great big fucking people.
Yeah, they
You
are.
know? I
Yeah.
can't eat. I don't. I eat too much, overeat because the serving sizes are just so big.
Well,
Especially if you're trying to get a deal.
everybody's onto that new drug now. What's it called? Ozempic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ozempic
I've got a friend that's taking that right now.
and the Wegovy.
Yeah. He's taking Ozempic. It's like these injections, I guess he has to take. I guess they're waiting for approval to have it turn into pills or something like that. But he's taking injections, and I guess it's because if I understand right, Ozempic started out as some kind of
Diabetes.
medication, and my friend has diabetes.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. His doctor was all like, "Hey, why don't you try this?" Because he is overweight and he does have diabetes. So his doctor recommended it to him, and he got on. I think he's already lost he's only been on it for I think a month, maybe 2 months, and he's lost like 12 pounds already. And he just says it just lowers his appetite completely. Yeah.
So I need that in my life. Just to be
Yeah.
able to diet without dieting. When I'm doing TikTok now, when I get back, I'll set it up. Like last night, I set it up in the window, and then
Yeah, I saw that.
I was asking people as they come in if there was a new drug that was developed that would let you live forever. Would you take it?
Right.
And it worked. It got a lot of people talking and interested, and I think so. I wonder.
Did you? How did you answer the question? How did you answer
it?
that?
Hell yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I'm not going to be first in line, but I'll be 5th or 10th.
Well, the first thing I would ask, see, for me, I'm too paranoid. I've read too many like sci-fi and fantasy stories where wishes get corrupted. So like in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so you take this pill or whatever, this injection, it makes you live forever, but do you still age? Or do you still have the problems that associating with aging? Do you still
until you're 30, and then once you're about the age of 30, your body will stay at that same
stay at 30 forever, right? Okay. Then of course you got to think about things like how other people will react to you, like how often you'll have to like just disappear so that people don't know you're immortal, or is this a common thing? Does everybody have this?
Everybody will do it.
Oh, well, then what are you going to do about population control? Does it also make you sterile?
You're kidding me, right? We still have plenty of more room for people. There's lots of room for people. People, what you think Americans will all of a sudden want to start having babies again?
Did you ever see that movie?
Great, I get left forever. I might as well waste it raising kids.
There was a movie with what's his name from NSYNC? Oh fuck! I can't think of his name. Curly hair dude. He's married to like a famous actress now, and
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. Thank you. Good Lord, I could not think of his name. He had a movie out back in the mid 2000s or something where it was the future and your life could be extended, and everyone had these like clocks embedded into their arms where they could trade days. So instead of money to buy things, you would trade minutes of your life, days of your life, what have you. And he ends up like stealing like thousands, millions of years from some rich guy and trying to give it to other people, like a Robin Hood, but with immortality.
Yeah, I remember that. I've seen that. What would be funny or interesting would be like if they was able to make this new drug that increased lifespan like indefinitely forever, and they was able to make it cheap, like 12 cents a pill, and you just need one pill,
right?
Then do they give it to like inmates that are, and then what if they've got like
life sentences?
Life sentences. How does that work? 200 or 300 years sentences that are meant to make.
Well, it would also it would also be a benefit that would happen from that. I think would also be you would start seeing places where people could go and end their lives ethically and without pain. I think that would be it.
Yeah, as long as that would biological. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have to be a thing, because even with people, who have extended lives where they could live forever may not necessarily want to once they hit like 200-300 years and they're all like, fuck, I've done everything.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think that's the actual state that humans get into.
Well, no, I don't know because apathy is a big thing.
Right,
For
but there's always
humans.
another game to play.
Well, maybe you hope so, or maybe again, if what if this person who has this longer life, it also has mental, difficulties. Maybe they suffer from depression, or they
Hopefully
suffer
it's
from
gonna fix that too.
anxiety. Oh, it'll fix that. So it'll fix everything.
No, hopefully we'll be able to fix that also in a different way.
Okay.
Like
Well,
at some
sign
point
me
in the
up.
future.
I'm ready.
Yeah, well, hell yeah, of course.
Inject me.
What I like to do is whenever somebody says no, I like to act like I'm writing their name down. Okay, we're gonna be
All
laughing at
right,
this guy
so you're
forever.
a no then. Okay, hold on a second. Got it.
So we're gonna be laughing at this guy for like millions of years. Like, remember that time he said he wouldn't take it?
Remember that guy? No. Oh, there's another thing. Human memory can only hold so much information.
I don't know about
So,
that.
so then the next issue becomes, well,
Memory doesn't hold the information.
how much all the stuff? Well, think of all the stuff you'll forget.
How much stuff we've already forgot.
Imagine you go to you decide, oh, okay, I can live forever. I'm going to go learn to be a lawyer, and you go to school for 8 years or whatever it is to become a lawyer or doctor or whatever. And then 100 years later, you're all like, how did I do that shit again?
So there's 3 steps, right? There's 3 steps on our way to the singularity. The first step is going to give us the ability to increase our lifespan indefinitely, and that's the genetic revolution.
Yeah.
The second revolution is the nanotech revolution, and that revolution will give us the ability to basically we'll be able to record our sensory input. So we'll be able to keep a copy of everything we see and hear and recall it later and have digital memories and all that sort of. That's all included and able to happen inside the nanotech revolution.
Okay. So we have extended memory storage is what you're saying.
We will eventually be able to have extended memory storage, faster recall, higher computational engine. All these stuff can be interrupted and intersected and rerouted with modern. Because there's different things that biology is really good at, but some things computers
They're not.
are a lot better. Yeah, some things computers are a lot better at, like copying data. Humans are really terrible at that. I have to teach my son manually. You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
I wish I could just copy the program over. Be like, he's got it.
Right. Right.
But
it's a problem.
It's a problem, right?
It's a problem in the design.
Yeah.
Well,
we need to get that fixed. For his sake.
Yeah.
He needs to do software.
I don't think he's going to get that tech anytime soon. Let's just say that. I think it's way off. Well, I've said for a long time that to me, the only thing that makes sense is that, I think, I don't know who said it, but basically it's true that I think humanity is here to bootstrap AI. Well, not bootstrap, to basically birth AI. That the next level of humanity is going to be, either artificial intelligence or us putting ourselves into some kind of, cybernetic silicon, whatever based, something stronger and more durable and more resistant to diseases and things like radiation, because that's really the only way I think that we're going to do true space travel if we ever do.
Oh, if we can become non-biological, that makes space travel actual reality. But the problem with that is, if you look at the way that humans are and the way our minds work, actual space travel doesn't make much sense. Once you start getting more than outside of our little solar system,
Yeah.
the amount of time it takes to communicate with the rest of humanity becomes so difficult that nobody would want to do that. You'd be losing out, especially once you see how fast technology is improving now.
Right.
By the time that's able, it's going to be improving at such a high rate. You're going to be like, man, I'm going to miss the PlayStation 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's gonna go on. Like, it's nobody's gonna
Yeah.
want to miss that, you know.
Well, I just hope that we get to that point. I hope that we're, that we don't just like end up killing ourselves and ending it all.
We need to set theoretically the only way that we can continue on as a species is to separate and
Yeah.
go different directions. Like right now, if we could save a lot of lives, if we just took all the Republicans and put them on one spaceship, sent them one direction, the Democrats another direction, and then everybody else just stay here and keep on going. When we did that, all three, we'd have a new home base, and nobody wants to tear the whole place apart.
Yeah. Well, the singularity, I think, would help with that if it was to come around. I think you'd see less divisiveness.
Well, the third part of the singularity, the actual singularity part's when the strong AI happens, right? So there's the G, which is the genetic revolution, the N, which is the nanotech revolution, and then the R, which stands for robotic, but it actually means the strong AI revolution. And
does nanotech include like replicators, that kind of thing?
It only within the laws of physics, and right now, not all of that is like you're not going to make a warm cup of Earl Grey tea.
But I mean, I do think that like I've thought this for a while that 3D printers are basically the first steps towards that. I don't know if we'll get full like Star Trek replicators, but I think that eventually you'll be able to like, you'll be able to print out a refrigerator.
The interesting thing,
you know what I'm saying?
Considered about that, because I remember you talking about this and thinking about how that was going to like basically like really be a hampering to capitalism in our economy.
Oh, big time, yeah.
But a thing you might not have considered it is that a lot of people won't settle for just printing out the open source fork. They will only want the designer fork that was designed by somebody that's for sale in the economy. Everybody.
That's
if you, not even us would get caught with an open source fork in public. We would at least buy something reasonable.
I don't know. I probably would. I'm like that,
You definitely design yourself up. You make yourself look nice. You're not wearing a plain T-shirt. Old pocket tee.
It's true. It's true.
3 pocket tees. That's it. A different color every week.
Bob Dobb Subgenius 43 says that AI has been around since 2001: A Space Odyssey.
What the idea of it?
Yeah, the idea. Well, it's been around longer than that.
Yeah.
But we don't even have AI today. That's another thing that
AI. That's different. You got to separate that. Strong AI is totally separate from the, because we do have really good working AI that's doing great things.
Okay, then what is the difference then between AI today, soft AI, if that's what you want to call it, and machine learning?
Well, machine learning is just like a scope of AI. Like if you said, trucks cars are a form of automobiles. There's a whole bunch of different types of automobiles, and like not all automobiles are more like not all trucks are big rigs, but all big rigs are trucks.
See, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would compare that like that.
Well, I'm taking a course on it right now with Google, and you can actually take it for free. It's called the Google Ethics. Oh, this is just the part we're in. Like it's an AI course, but the machine learning is just a subset of AI, because AI has a whole bunch of different.
I get that, but it's not true AI.
True AI.
Like if we're talking, so see, I think that basically the difference between like what we call hard AI and soft AI, if we want to call it that, is a matter of semantics. I think artificial intelligence, when we think about it as comparable to ourselves.
Strong AI is it's not only comparable, I think it would blow ourselves away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm talking about in form and feature and in sentience and what have you. But the AI we have today is like if you trained a chimpanzee to put the round block into the round hole. That's the difference to me. And so like I'm sorry, what?
Which AI?
The AI that we have today, everything from Chat GPT to other things like that we basically associate with machine learning. We use associate with machine learning.
Let's go to chess. Let's start with chess for a second.
Okay.
You see that it's not like a chimpanzee doing it. It's like a cold-blooded killer. It's like the best human.
That's
ever
a very
built.
specific narrow. When we're talking about AI, we're not talking about specific narrow things. We're talking about an overall understanding.
That's strong AI. That's a different thing than what.
That's what I'm saying. Is that strong AI? You should just be called strong AI. And now what has happened is that people have conflated machine learning with AI, so we've developed this term soft AI.
Well, not all models are machine learning. So there's different types.
Well, I mean, to be AI, they all have to go through a machine learning, don't they?
No, there's other types of models. There is instead of using machine learning, you can use like let's see, right?
But whatever it is that they're learning, whatever type that they're learning, it's always very narrow and specific. Like, for example, ChatGPT is a language model, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, like, let's say Amazon has a distribution model AI that they use, right? For to make sure the packages go where they need to go and they're sorted and what have you. That's a distribution. Well, we call that a distribution AI, right?
Right.
And those things are very specific and narrow in their usage. But I think that if you go back as far as just a few years ago, 5 years ago, where people weren't conflating AI with machine learning, that would never have been considered AI. ChatGPT wouldn't be considered AI. It would just be considered machine learning.
Well,
and it's not
talking about definitions. This really doesn't matter.
Right. It's a semantics argument. Yeah.
And I mean, that's fine, but this subset of AI that we're using right now, that's not not a strong AI, is really helpful. I mean, it's still a good tool.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
And no, it's a long way away. But if you'll notice, so there's tons of different types of models, right? So there's the like the one that's it's a text to text model. That's ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah, it's a language model.
It's a language model, and that language is a text-to-text model. Some language models are like they can judge things. They can tell the sentiment of something. That's a different type of model. There's also visual models that can look at a picture. There's generative models that can create all different kinds of stuff. One of the interesting things is going to be putting all these different types of models together into one.
That's going to be the hard thing.
And one great big unit that can toss these ideas back around like a consciousness and stuff, because we always think of human having like that one angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder throwing ideas back and forth, Well, we can have different models doing that inside of one huge overarching model that'll eventually come out with a more correct, more well thought out answer than is just any individual model could be. And that's when we'll start to develop models that might be closer to getting where we're talking about.
What I thought was interesting, or what I've always thought was be interesting about AI and singularity and all that stuff, is if the idea is to replicate human consciousness in the sense of like having sentience, and obviously way more advanced in its speed and what it can handle and what it can hold the us, right?
Sentience.
Is right, sentience. So, and we're using ourselves as the model for that because it's really the only model that we have.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing, and I thought about this, that I wonder if the same emergent properties that exist within the human brain will become developed within AI itself. And one particular that I'm interested in understanding. So one of the things that humans do, or that we have the capacity of, is, and I'll try to explain this in simple terms, but there's way more advanced terms for this that I wouldn't even begin to remember all the words to. But in simple terms, we have almost like a holographic or a representation of ourselves in our minds. And we often talk to this representation in our minds. It's how we work out details. we'll sit there and we'll say to ourselves, hey, what's going on here? What do I need to do? And then we'll start working it out. There'll be even times where we're going through life and that holographic representation in our minds will speak to us and say, hey, did you notice that? Or, hey, should you have done that? Or, and we call it our consciousness, or conscious or what have you, right?
What's yours look like?
I don't know, but this is an emergent property of sentience, or that's what it's believed to be, right?
Yeah. So I wonder the movie Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Remember that little guy that would pop up out of nowhere and be like, hey, you're gonna do this and that and this and that. Remember that?
Right. But we have that in our heads as ourselves, and we call that sentience. We work out problems. In fact, I mean, not to get religious, I actually
right type thing almost.
Yeah, I believe that what people think that God is speaking to them is actually their own
voice in their head.
That holographic representation of their mind, of themselves, that's wrapped up in robes. You know what I mean? God clothing, right?
I wonder how they justify it when that thing tells them like some fucked up shit, like tell that stab that lady in the gut.
So that's my question is that when AI hits sentience, will that emergent property come about within the AI, and how will it deal with that?
I think we were just talking about how it can happen. Like if we're creating these systems to be like a human brain, because the way human brain is a bunch of different like little systems.
Right. It's an amalgam, yeah.
Yeah. So if we take a whole bunch of neural networks and we patch them all together, imagine thousands of neural networks all patched together in a way that they're bouncing information off of this one, off of that one. Wait a minute, you got to run that through the neural network to make sure that this passes the smell test, and
right. But the question is
to create those types of
I get that
secondary dialogues and other options that could have been taken.
But will the AI? Here's the question, though. Humans don't recognize this in themselves.
Some of us do.
Right. Some of us do, but for the most part, humans don't recognize it within themselves. Right. They just think they're talking to themselves and what have you. They don't realize that there's this other representation of ourselves in our mind. Right. And so imagine AI develops this and it doesn't recognize it within itself, just like we don't recognize it within itself. And so the question becomes,
where does it get a therapist?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, will AI need therapy? Will AI develop neurosis? Will AI develop depression? Which is a lot linked to that holographic representation we have, that little guy we have in ourselves, that is ourselves in our mind that we talk to.
Schizophrenia.
And right. And then, how quickly would we be able to recognize it within AI? Because AI is going to be so much faster computing stuff for us. Imagine like someone who's dealing with depression, who has that representation of themselves in their head, talking shit to themselves, telling them how worthless they are, telling them how, things are horrible or what have you.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to recognize that when AI has it? And will AI be able to recognize it within itself?
Right. I think it'll definitely be there if it's even loosely based on ourselves.
Yeah. So that's to me, that's an issue.
Well,
my only hope is that because the AI will have all of the information from, every source and all over the world, that it will also have the answer to those mental issues, to the best way to deal with those emergent issues and things. It'll say, oh, I'm dealing with depression. What is the best way to deal with depression? And we'll deal with it accordingly. Maybe even down to where it has to turn off certain subroutines or, something like that to deal with. That's my hope. It would figure that out. But if it doesn't, and it takes a long time to do that, we got to be really careful.
Yeah, and I understand what you're getting at, and I think the only thing that you might not see is that there's different routes to a strong AI than just like the computer that gained AI and became intelligent, and now it reprograms itself.
Sure.
And now we have the strong AI. There's other routes to that happening.
Yeah, but
And,
they all have to emerge with each other. That's the thing is,
but
once
they
all
don't
those
have to.
routes come
No, no, they don't
together,
have to be. But it don't have to be like one of them. You know what I mean? Like so, like the way that the route that Elon prefers, which I'm not saying that this is the right way because he prefers it. It's just that he did hear correctly on like this route was that instead of trying to build a specific AI that becomes a strong AI, we can take what we already have as the best consciousnesses we have, and we can upgrade those consciousnesses. We're gonna start working on our brains. And
right?
basically, our brains, each individual person can become a strong AI eventually. But we just have to keep adding more tools and keep adding
Yeah.
more, stuff like that could keep working at levels far beyond what we'll be able to create inside of a computer for a long time.
Well, that's the hope anyway.
At least for but
Yeah,
it's not.
that's the
It's the
hope.
hope, not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be that a strong AI and upgraded to be
Yeah.
the smartest person in the whole universe. And, all of each individual human is like a god. Not everybody wants that, but that might be better than having one strong AI that's like
Well,
a god ruling all of humanity.
What is it? Did you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Of course.
Yeah. So it's we're gonna make the planet into a large computer, and we're gonna ask it the serious questions, and it's just gonna give us 42.
Yeah. Right. But
It's gonna say you work it out. Yeah, ants.
the idea of turning the planet into a large computer, though, that's actually, probably a way that we're beheaded.
Yeah.
Because
Well. Yeah.
a lot of these problems that we think about, like as far as like AI taking over and all this crazy stuff, and none of that accounts for the fact that it won't be long until we'll be moving into a virtual world.
Yeah.
We're not going to want to live in reality. The reality's lame.
Yeah.
And all our friends will be inside of virtual reality. So,
Well, if Mark Zuckerberg has his way.
it's Mark Zuckerberg's just the head of the game. I mean, he's just trying to be.
Yeah, maybe.
That's like obviously where we're going.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be so much. But that's you talk about getting rid of disease and get rid of, all the things that plague humanity and creating fairness and all that sort of thing. That's a place where those types of simulations and games are actually possible.
Right.
Right? In the real world, you got natural evil like tornadoes and plagues and shit you just can't stop.
Well, you know the big thing that they're working on, the video game manufacturers are working on right now, is using language models with their NPCs.
Sure.
I mean, there's someone who I guess did something to make Skyrim work with Chat GPT so that the NPCs could have like conversations with you.
Interesting.
And then they routed that through, a text to speech program. So the NPCs are like talking to you, and like it was kind of funny because there was one where he tried explaining to an NPC that it was an NPC, and it did not want to deal with that. It did not like that information at all, or at least that's how it came back.
That's funny.
So I can you imagine video games with AI driven NPCs?
It's not just AI driven NPCs. They're the future.
Oh, the graphics and everything. Yeah,
everything. The whole levels, the whole world, maybe even like the entire plot could be created. And on the fly, you'll be playing a video game that literally nobody else could have ever played before.
Right.
Everybody would be.
Everyone will have a unique experience with their games. Yeah.
Right. So interesting.
Yeah. It's the sad thing is though that when that starts becoming like a real strong thing, I'll probably be about 65, 70 years old.
Things are speeding up really quick.
I feel like I'm going to miss out on a lot of cool things.
I'm trying to never die,
Well, I keep refusing to. I keep telling people that's for humans.
Have you see what I want to get is at least if I do have to die, I would like to be frozen, So that way
Oh,
I can get woken up in the future, you know, be like, hey, oh, good. I'm so glad to be back, guys.
Thank you. Put your head on top of a robot or something.
Exactly. Whatever it takes, you know, because, you know,
Yeah.
if you can't afford, because it's like $160,000 to get your whole body frozen.
Really?
But you can get just your head frozen for like 20. That's a deal, you know? And it might be a little longer till you get woken up. But even if they just like as an asshole, like wake you up as a head in a vat, I would
Yeah.
still be okay with that, you know? Like
My
floating
head would be in a vat right here, and then my genitals would be in a vat right next to me.
they charge you. But if you got extra money to store your genitals, you know, you might want to put that in an account for when you wake up. No, I don't think I'd save those. I'm awful proud of them. I mean, there's really not that much connected to your brain there. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, of all things that could be simulated. Yeah. So they happen. There's companies now that will replicate that for you.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, man. Well, hey, I got to take off. I got to get some stuff done. I got to do some laundry and stuff. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you for joining with me, Tim. It's always good hanging out with you and talking to you. You're always welcome to come. Yep. And I want to thank everybody else who's been watching and listening for joining us. Thank you for your comments and everything else. I'll be back on Thursday, so join me then. Again, check out Major Hustler on TikTok. It's got a great channel there, very popular. If you ever want to see what Seattle looks like from the back or the top of a scooter, go check out Major Hustler. Anyway, guys, have a nice day. Have a great time. See you later, Tim.
Yep.
And have a good time, man.